Now, you'd hardly class any of the following interesting facts and figures as vital to your enjoyment of the AEW product, but should you want to arm yourself with some truly elite knowledge to drop on a pal who has only just hopped onto this AEW ride, or simply get a kick out of learning something new about your favourite company, then do I have the list for you. Gareth here from What Culture Wrestling, and here are 10 unnecessary AEW details you need to know. Number 10, it took over 2 years for AEW's first ever TV DQ win to happen. What makes AEW feel so distinct and rewarding to take in on a weekly basis is the fact that the cheap and lazy DQ finishes, often found leaving a sour taste in WWE fans' mouths, have largely been nowhere to be seen on the likes of Dynamite and Rampage. It actually took a staggering 2+ years for AEW to record their first ever disqualification victory, in fact, with said moment going down when MJF faced off against Shawn Dean back on January 5th, 2022's Dynamite. With CM Punk hitting the GTS on Dean after the salt of the earth fled the squared circle, Maxwell ultimately lost the bout and his 100% win record in 2022 thanks to the best in the world induced DQ. And cheap finishes are still relatively rare in Tony Khan's world today, with 2023 only seeing 3 DQ/no contest/double DQ endings at the time of recording, according to @WinsDanLosses on Twitter. So let's keep it that way, TK. Number 9, Chris Jericho wanted to kill off Judas. After the wrestling legend once again turned heel in 2022, a move that would lead to the Jericho Appreciation Society being born, Chris Jericho felt that having fans sing along with his much-loved theme didn't make sense if he was playing the bad guy. This led to the former AEW World Champion, with a little help from Fozzy member Rich Ward, creating a remix of the original tune, making it a little less sing-alongy. Those were his words, not mine. The AEW president was having none of it though. TK felt that the original would continue to work just fine, and Jericho ultimately agreed that taking away a hugely popular element of the AEW product wouldn't make any sense, regardless of if he was fighting the good or bad fight. So it doesn't matter if he's setting fire to babyfaces or butting heads with all elite villains. Don't expect the demo god to be dropping his precious Judas anytime soon. Number 8, the Guns have a higher AEW win percentage than Kenny Omega. Despite holding the record of longest reigning AEW World Champion, regularly coming out on top in doubles and trios action, and being one of the company's most popular main event attractions, Kenny Omega's win percentage is surprisingly low. At time of recording, the cleaner holds a win percentage of just 76.08%, according to ProFightDB.com. This means that the likes of the Guns, Ty Mello, Athena, Abaddon, and Lance Archer have all managed to maintain stronger win rates than the legendary Elite member when it comes to people who've wrestled more than 25 times for AEW. Hook currently holds the highest win percentage, with the current FTW champion still yet to lose his 100% record. Jade Cargill is right behind him with a staggering 98.27%, however, with the Casino Battle Royale at All Out 2021 being the only match he hasn't come out on top in up to this point. And when it comes to all elite sensations who have clocked up a staggering 100 AEW matches or more, it's Jon Moxley who boasts the highest success rate, holding an 86.92% win percentage after 130 contests. And as I'm recording this, he's probably wrestled like 10 more or something. Number 7, Riho began wrestling at the age of 9. Wrestlers tend to benefit from starting out on this bumping path at a young age, with the hopeful guys and gals looking to make a splash in the industry being able to spend years and even decades honing their craft before finally maturing into a TV-ready top star of tomorrow. But there's trying your hand at this wrestling stuff in your mid to late teens, and then there's deciding the wrestling life is for you at just 9 years old. That's precisely what went down when it came to the inaugural AEW Women's World Champion, with the always mesmerizing Riho training under fellow AEW regular Emi Sakura before making her official in-ring debut in an exhibition bout versus Nene Takahashi, and appearing regularly on Sakura's Ice Ribbon promotion going forward. This means that despite still only being 25 years old at this exact moment, Riho has already been performing in between the ropes for over 15 years. Other children, myself included, were likely just figuring out how to get through a school day without scraping their knee as they approached the age of 10, whereas the mighty Riho had already begun to perfect her signature bridging ability at that point. Madness! Number 6, the inspiration for Full Gear and Double or Nothing. Ever wondered what goes into deciding the names of an upcoming pay-per-view? Well, in the case of the Land of All Elite, the likes of Double or Nothing and Full Gear weren't just random words that sounded cool when thrown together. Jumping back to 2018, in the wake of just putting on a spectacular all-in show inside of the Sears Center Arena and winning a bet with Dave Meltzer in the process. Cody Rhodes took to the mic in front of the capacity crowd and explained, "I know when you make a bet, sometimes you go double or nothing." And just like that, the first seeds for what would ultimately become Double or Nothing were planted in front of a passionate, soon-to-be all-elite audience. Full Gear acted as AEW's third ever pay-per-view on the back of finally kicking off their weekly TV show Dynamite, of course. And that name was largely inspired by the content that helped get this elite party started in the first place. Hangman Adam Page was at the center of a Being the Elite joke that saw him rock up to meet the Young Bucks and Cody whilst bizarrely dressed in his full gear. Just like that stud Pac had at the inaugural AEW press conference. So in a cheeky nod to their underdressed eating companion, Full Gear was born towards the back end of 2019. Number 5, Jon Moxley was the first person to hit 30 Dynamite main events. On top of sitting as the AEW wrestler with the highest win percentage after wrestling in over 100 matches for the company, the former AEW World Champion and all-round badass that is Jon Moxley has achieved a few more rather notable feats in recent times. The purveyor of violence's victory over Evil Uno this February marked his 100th AEW win, the first time a star has hit that number in the promotion. After battling against fellow Blackpool Combat Club member Bryan Danielson at AEW Grand Slam 2022, Mox also became the first person to main event Dynamite a staggering 30 times. And if that wasn't already impressive enough, the one-time WWE champion also holds the record of most ever pay-per-view main event appearances too, making his presence known in 11 of AEW's 19 pay-per-view main events to date. Simply put, if there's an all-elite record to be broken or milestone to be hit, Mox is either closing in on it or has already dropped it on its head with a paradigm shift. Number 4, Christian Cage's 2021 pay-per-view adventure. 2021 was a big old year for AEW's Captain Charisma. After being forced into retirement due to concussion issues, Christian Cage made his unexpected return to the ring at the 2021 WWE Royal Rumble, walking in at number 24 as he reunited with longtime pal Edge in the titular contest. Cage would then obviously go on to shockingly pop up on AEW programming just a few months later, making his debut at Revolution 2021 before eventually setting his sights on Kenny Omega's Impact World Championship. The much-loved veteran ultimately won that strap, of course, with Cage then going on to battle with the Cleaner over the AEW World Championship in the All Out main event too. And adding the icing onto an already rather surreal-looking cake, 2021 also saw Christian defend his gold on some Impact pay-per-views, besting the likes of Brian Myers and Ace Austin in various pay-per-view main events. Sure, Cage wouldn't manage to finish the year as Impact World Champion, losing the title to Josh Alexander at Bound for Glory. However, he could still boast the awesome statistic of having main evented a WWE, AEW, and Impact pay-per-view in the same year. We salute you, Christian. Number 3, Jungle Boy won gold exactly 1 year after Tarzan Boy's AEW debut. From the second Tarzan Boy rang out around an AEW arena for the very first time back on January 5th, 2021's episode of Dark, it felt as though Tony Khan had landed on something that could definitely help elevate one of his 4 pillars and Jurassic Express as a whole. Fans increasingly got behind and connected with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus on the back of TK investing in this catchy and easy to participate in theme song, with the twosome getting more and more over as the months rolled by and crowds began to return to arenas. And by the time 2021 was reaching its end, the All Elite faithful were very much ready to see Jack Perry and his Dino pal lift their first piece of AEW gold. Just a few days into 2022, they did exactly that, toppling the Lucha Brothers on January 5th's edition of Dynamite. And as pointed out by What Culture's own Michael Sidgwick on Twitter, Jurassic Express's AEW World Tag Team Championship win came exactly 1 year after Khan gave Jungle Boy a late Tarzan Christmas present. 1 year on from this wonderful gift, this particular pillar had grown into a full-blown championship-winning sensation. Simply put, this Tarzan investment paid off. Number 2, Orange Cassidy isn't as fresh as you think. Effortlessly exuding cool from every pore, Orange Cassidy undoubtedly sits as one of the biggest unexpected success stories AEW has ever seen. Connecting with the younger demographic with his carefree attitude and half-assed way of getting inside his opponent's head, the way the long-time All-Atlantic champion still suddenly bursts into life mid-contest would fool you into believing he's only just approaching the big 3-0. In actual fact though, freshly squeezed is anything but. Cassidy is 38 years old at the time of recording, meaning he's actually older than the likes of Jon Moxley, Pac, and Malachi Black. That must be one hell of a skincare routine, and if you wanted to have your mind blown even more by some additional rather useless AEW age trivia, then you're in luck. It'll likely come as another shock to hear that the petulant work-in-progress son of Rey Mysterio over in WWE, known as Dominic, is actually older than longtime Dynamite star Jungle Boy Jack Perry, with the former being 26 and the latter being 25 currently. Age is just a number and all that. Number 1, Jon Moxley autographs his water bottles. It was only right to sign off this collection of unnecessary AEW details with not just the Land of All Elite MVP, but the MVP of this whole damn list. Rather than spend more time talking about his impressive win record though, it's a rather subtle yet classy as all hell detail that Jon Moxley laces into most of his AEW entrances that is being given some attention here. As revealed by certain lucky fans who have found themselves in the possession of one, the multiple-time AEW World Champion actually goes out of his way to sign each and every plastic bottle he fires off into the audience when making his way through the crowd to the ring. It's a tiny thing, but can you imagine the look on an AEW lover's face when, after being smacked on the back of the head by this incoming piece of plastic, they realize they've just been concussed by a truly unique piece of Mox memorabilia? Once again proving weekly why he's one of the real ones. This BCC icon even makes water bottles mean something. And that's our list. Know of any other unnecessary AEW details you need to know? Well, let us know all about them in the comment section right down below, and do not forget to like, share, and click on that subscribe button while you're down there. Also, if you're a fan of this unnecessary stuff, then please head on over to whatculture.com and find some more fantastic articles just like the one this video you're watching right now is based on. I've been Gareth from What Culture Wrestling. Cheers very much for stopping on by. I'm sure I'll see you again soon, but in the meantime, just be good to yourself. Bye bye.